look like?
You interested in the background of
Read for chumps, man.
Glad everyone audience knows that you're literacy's way to go.
Nah, but seriously though, read for chumps.
Alright, y'all. So KBR Sports, the best sports talk show 24 day back from our break. Remember, you all can follow and subscribe to the KBR Sports podcast on Rabble TV, Spreaker, YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Also, don't forget, you guys can follow KBR Sports on Twitter at KBR_Sports. We tweet the live links and show topics prior to every single show. Also, you can call in at 571-991-0566 in order to pitch your own opinions on any KBR Sports topic that may be getting discussed, or to call in and pitch a topic you want to hear discussed on the KBR Sports podcast. Remember, the number is 571-991-0566. All right, so instead of going into a whole divulgent twist about a lot of different, because we got a lot of topics to cover, so we're just going to go into a speed round and touch on a good amount of topics real fast while we still have time. So, Nigel.
Yeah.
Out of the two New York teams, being the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks, which team will make the playoffs first?
You know, I'm going to take a long shot here. I'm going to rock with the Nets.
Why?
Okay. Hear me out real quickly.
Here you go.
The Knicks have Porzingis. I understand that. What the Nets have done so far, acquiring young talent, I think they'll acquire more than just D'Angelo Russell. I think they will get another young piece. And I think they have a good coach in place. And Sean Marks is doing a phenomenal job so far as a GM. Even with what little he had to work with. Done a great job so far. I think a solid foundation gets you into the playoffs more than just a great player and some overpriced players around them.
I'm going with the Knicks because the Knicks, I mean, they have Kristaps Porzingis.
They do have Kristaps.
They still have Melo.
They
still technically do have Melo.
They still have Melo.
Eating
up cap.
He's eating up cap. And the Knicks have draft picks. The Knicks have draft picks. The Nets do not have draft picks.
You're not wrong.
Which is what kills the Nets, in my opinion. I think the Knicks, you have an easier ability of getting young players. And you still have pieces where you could get better faster than the Nets could get better faster. Right. You're in a situation where if you just got one really good guy or Kristaps even develops to a better player in a really short amount of time. I mean, it's been 2 years now. He has 2 years of experience under his belt. And if he continues to go in the upward progression of development, and you you got good guys on your roster like Courtney Lee, you got Kristaps, you have Mel. Who?
Cut.
What?
Right there.
Yeah, I mean that's about it. That's about it. But I mean, hey, you're a lot further than Brooklyn. You're a lot further than Brooklyn. I mean, it's just. The teams are bad.
I mean, Brooklyn still got D'Angelo Russell. I'm still high on D'Angelo Russell. No, I'm still high on D'Angelo Russell.
I like D'Angelo too. I mean, I think how many times I sat here on this show so many times said the Lakers should not trade D'Angelo Russell.
Trade him.
The reason, to trade him. But the reason why they traded him, I said they shouldn't trade him for Paul George. The reason why they did trade him, the way they used him in this trade, I'm not mad at it. I can't be mad at it. But, yeah. So I'm also believe D'Angelo Russell has the talent to be a
star. Yeah,
star in the league. So I think that's a good starting. But right now, if you ask me who has the more likely chance to be better, Kristaps or D'Angelo, who has the more likely chance? I'm going with Kristaps. Yeah, you know what I mean? And who's more...
Actually, you know what?
Who can have more of an impact?
Based on the league rules right now, would you not make the argument for D'Angelo Russell?
I would make because here's the thing. What Kristaps is literally so rare in the league. When you have a player like Kristaps can fill any role on offense, except because of the fact that... Huh? No, he can't play in the post yet, but I'm saying in terms of his 3-point shooting and the fact he can play face to the basket, he's so athletic and he can defend. He still needs to improve on defense, but in terms of rim protection, he can defend. I think he does. Right now, he has a higher ceiling. Like Kristaps' ceiling is way higher than D'Angelo's ceiling. So that's the reason I say Kristaps has. And then Kristaps also has a guy like Melo, and he has a 3-and-D guy on his team that helps him out. Whereas D'Angelo, he doesn't really have anybody that takes the pressure off of him.
Jeremy Lin.
Okay,
you keep faking on Jeremy Lin.
So
where does Hold on, fam.
Where does Gordon
Why
Hayward
are you faking
go
on this man? Look up this man's
free
numbers.
agency? Where does Gordon Hayward go in free agency?
You know what? Originally, I was like, he's gonna stay with the Jazz. I think at 60-40 right now, he goes to the Celtics. What?
The Pacers trade Paul George to the Thunder?
Hey, I like that trade. Honestly.
Paul George must be blown.
That's a good trade.
Wow, for whom?
For probably nothing.
Wow. I gotta. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay. Go on with your saying about Gordon Hayward.
No, breaking news.
This is breaking news.
This is way more interesting than Paul George. I already said he's going anyway.
Okay, you said where? The Celtics?
Yeah. No, I already said that the 60-40 is going to the Celtics.
Okay. I think that now at this point it's become between that,
Victor Oladipo, Sabonis, and that's literally it.
They traded away 2 players, and they got Paul George. Wait, what?
Bro, I'll fight the pay. I would fight
Kevin Pritchard.
Pritchard.
He traded for Kevin.
Hey, here it is.
What?
Boy,
that's worse than what the Celtics were offering.
That was my main thing. The Celtics were offering picks, young players. I mean, they got young players. I mean, they got 2 young players.
Sabonis and Victor Oladipo.
They're both young.
But we all know. I mean, the young again. A draft pick is even more like right now. The ceiling that you see. I am appalled they made this one.
Yeah, that was a bad trade.
Wow.
But hold on a second. They got a 1-year rental. Victor's locked up. Sabonis is still young.
Okay, I get because it's a 1-year rental. I get what you're saying.
And once again, we have to see what exactly because you gotta remember the picks that the Celtics were offering were protected as well.
Yes.
So I mean, all in all, sure you may not even get those picks that year, next year.
This is so interesting now. I mean, think about it. You get now. Oh my gosh, this makes the Thunder.
Yeah.
I'm just saying where the Thunder are
now. Probably a 4 seed.
This wasn't even we didn't even hear about this. Think about it. There was no talk about them possibly getting. This whole segment just went from speed round to all about Paul George now. But I mean, this big of a news warrants it. But think about it. The fact that you had Russell Westbrook in a situation where last year he had to do everything by himself, and he averaged a triple-double. He went on to average a triple-double. Now you get him a guy that can space the floor. I mean, he's a worse Kevin Durant. But it makes it more interesting to see.
That's being disrespectful.
But now it kind of frees up. Does this free up some cap space for the Thunder? Now, if you want to do some things, you get Victor Oladipo's deal off the books. You get someone who's a young player who's cheap. Now, I think who's coming up in free agency now? I think, Steven Adams is long term. I don't know how long Enes Kanter is signed there through. He was traded there.
1 more year.
Is Andre Roberson a free agent? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So you have, you
gonna get paid.
You have now a little bit of wiggle room. So does this make the Thunder a little bit like? How do you see the Thunder season projecting? I'm just stifled because of the fact that we didn't hear anything about this. Like, it was in no news. We didn't. It's all been Lakers, Celtics.
It's still in work. Now we can't hear, but we can just hear him talking. Mm-hmm. We can see him talking. But if he say he's going to resign, I'd be shocked.
If he said he was resigning to Oklahoma City, I'd be honestly appalled.
Shocked.
Wow.
But this all seems like a 1-year rental.
Essentially, I mean, is it one of those things that he wasn't like? You see, if you're the Thunder, is it one of the things when you're the Thunder, you're like, okay, we're getting a guy for one, but you've already seen this experiment with Kevin Durant and it didn't work. So it's one of those things that.
But this is now, Russ is still your best player.
Russ is your best player, but it's just weird because now you're like, okay, so we had Kevin Durant, we couldn't win with him. Now you're in a situation where you get Paul George. I mean, you're not gonna really go.
Honestly, getting rid of Vic's contract, even if he does go, getting rid of Vic's contract, that's a win.
And that's my point. I feel like it's one of those things that it was kind of like a dump off. You wanted to get rid of Victor Oladipo, and because you realized, hey, he wasn't that guy. He wasn't the guy that Russell Westbrook needed in his corner. And then maybe now you're in a situation where even if Paul George walks in a year, you have a lot. You're in a entirely cap friendly situation.
What does this say about Danny Ainge, though?
Great question. That's a great question.
Because before you answer that question, mm-hmm. we all hear that Danny Ainge, all the assets we have, all this, all that. You know, they've been linked to Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Blake Griffin, Gordon Hayward, every name under the sun essentially. Daryl Morey. Went out and got James Harden. Went out and got
Chris Paul.
Dwight Howard.
Oh yeah,
got Chris Paul.
Yeah,
was close to signing Chris Bosh when he was a free agent.
Yeah,
was
close to signing Melo.
Very close to signing Melo. He's been and Morey has not had the assets that he has had. At what point do you say you have to trade those assets for something?
You're right.
At this point, all right, one last thing.
No, go ahead.
At this point,
this has changed like the whole show. So go ahead.
If you get out of this summer, Gordon re-signs with Utah. Jimmy Butler's in Minnesota. Paul George is in OKC. Blake Griffin's staying in Clippers. So what you got out of the summer was Jason Tatum.
You got a future.
They got a future. I'll give them that much.
Okay, here's the only thing I say because of the Celtics. I get like, are we? If the Celtics tell you their game, like you can criticize the Celtics, yes, for sitting on their hands. But if you think about their big term game plan,
a big term, great. So
that's the thing. Like, was it just one of those things where it was thwarted? Like it was, or was it thwarted? Is THWA? You know
thwarted?
Huh?
Thwarted.
It's a hard word to say, right?
No, it's not thwarted.
Like the superhero Thor?
Yeah.
Thwarted.
Just say what you gotta say, man. It's thwarted.
It's pretty much somebody messes up your plans.
Yeah, it's thwarted.
And you're trying to like your plan was to go get Gordon Hayward, trying to sign him. Then your pitch.
It wasn't even that. It was supposed to be Gordon Hayward, and Paul George.
Yes, but the thing is, they were waiting to see what was gonna have with Gordon Hayward first. Then if they couldn't get Gordon Hayward, they assumed that the Paul George thing would probably be a 1-year rental. So they didn't want to go that route. So I mean, I think Danny Ainge went with the best. With the most safest plan he could go with, because does just getting Paul George put you over Cleveland? I don't think so. I think you'd have to get the pairing of the two in order to get over Cleveland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, again, but if you walk out, you're about to walk out of this summer. So, I mean, there's no really other. In my problem with you saying long term, they're set up long term. The problem is they signed Al Horford to a 4-year deal. If they don't re-sign Isaiah Thomas, they have Avery Bradley coming up next year. They have Isaiah Thomas coming up next year. Marcus Smart gets paid either next year or the year after next. At what point you have to say, cool, we have our future set. You have Jaylen Brown, you have Jason Tatum, you have Terry Rozier, you have Marcus Smart. You're set for the future. If you want to win now, you have to flip some of those assets into something. Or you're just gonna be a good team for 10 years. Which is cool and all, but you're not going to get over the hump.
But here's the thing. At what point do you trade those assets that would have made you a team in the future, and then you're still just a good team now, and you still can't get over Cleveland? That's the only problem. Like, it's one of those things that they're at least saying we at least have something to look forward to, rather than we're doing all this for something now that we know won't get us over
the
a team now.
offer was Jay Crowder, Marcus Smart, 2019 Memphis pick.
So they weren't given the top 3 pick that they would have had.
No, they were not. There was no way they were getting the Brooklyn pick. Unless Paul George was going to say, I'm going to resign, there was no way they were getting that pick.
I mean, I think that's a better trade package than this one.
I would absolutely take that.
Marcus Smart, Jay Crowder.
I'd take two absolute starters at 2 spots that I don't have. I would absolutely take a pick.
I mean, I'm thinking the Pacers might be holding Victor Oladipo in a really high regard.
You can hold high regard you want to. He's making $20 million. He's not that good.
I mean, it's one of those things I don't. So that you just saw the pitch that they pitched.
No, somebody posted it. Somebody posted what the Celtics had offered.
I know,
and it was a guaranteed. It was 2 starters, and it was a pick. I don't know what the pick was, but it was thought to be the Memphis 2019 pick.
Okay, so I mean. And let's say even if it's the Memphis 2019 pick, you're still getting a late round pick, mid round, late round pick.
2019 Memphis?
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah. I would take that.
That's a Marc Gasol declining, Mike Conley being the number 1 option on the team.
But let's say if they have the Nets pick in there, that looks. If you're Kevin Pritchard, I don't.
They're not getting the Nets pick.
I'm just saying if at any point the Nets pick was included.
That was the problem. They wouldn't all remember at the trade deadline. The main problem was that they weren't offered. No, they brought it into the end of the. They brought it in.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, at the very end, they said they pushed it. They put the Nets pick on the table.
And Kevin Pritchard was asking for a lot. Like he was.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. If the Nets pick ever entered the fold,
should have taken it. Immediately should have taken it right then.
That's the thing. And I remember. I don't know if even before this draft happened, if this pick was the number 1 pick was picked in there. I don't remember in this draft because I think it was this pick from this year that they initially had in there at some point. I don't remember if it was the one from next year as well, but they won this year. They did have at one point. I remember that people were saying that they wanted the pick from next year or something like that as well, and a young player like either Crowder and Jaylen Brown or one of the two, as well as packaging the Nets pick.
Oh yeah. They Wasn't it the package for Porzingis?
I think that might have been the package.
That was the package.
Porzingis,
They wanted Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams want Jaylen Brown.
Wow.
But that's an awful trade. That's an atrocious trade.
This to me, I think even the Lakers' offer was better.
Probably they were willing to give up Randall.
Yeah. If you're getting back Julius Randle, who so far has been a career 13-9 guy with way better upside.
And honestly, if you want to talk about someone Randle would actually fit in due to Miles Turner being right there, it's a perfect spot for him, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's an atrocious trade.
I don't get it.
But you know what? I said stuff about atrocious trades before, and you know what? I criticized I'm right trash the King.
Okay, so right now, sitting right here today, does Danny Ainge look better or worse for not making?
Oh, he looks worse. That absolutely looks worse. Yeah. Not even just because of that trade. The fact that again, Daryl Morey has gone out and done something. It's cool to talk about what you're going to do, and it's cool to be attached to every single name that's ever going to be a free agent. But at some point, you just got not swept, but you got destroyed by Cleveland. You have to do something.
But does it look bad on him or Kevin Pritchard? Because
it's bad on both of them. No, don't get me wrong.
That's the thing.
Oh, you mean just in terms of the trading?
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, because Danny Ainge's plan, we understood his plan. Get Gordon Hayward, then we go for Paul.
The problem is that Pritchard didn't do anything wrong against Danny Ainge.
But it's like
Danny Ainge, he could get better stuff from Danny Ainge. Now, why he didn't accept that and accepted that deal, I have no idea why.
But that's the thing. If we're looking at the trade packages offered, are we like, okay? Let's say we're evaluating what Oklahoma City gave and what the Celtics gave, right? Or the Celtics were willing to give. That I think that plays a part into how we judge these guys, because if we're sitting there thinking, okay, the Celtics were willing to give Jay Crowder, Marcus Smart, and a pick versus Victor Oladipo and Sabonis. Why didn't he pull the trigger on the Celtics one as opposed to the Thunder one? And that's where it kind of leaves me in this weird space, because you're just like, well, I don't know if I can really judge him too crucially or be too harsh on him, because I don't know if I would. If I'm Kevin Pritchard, I would have taken the Celtics trade. So that's the only weird thing, because I'm like, if I would have taken the Celtics trade, can I blame Danny Ainge because he technically pitched what I would have accepted?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know what I mean? So
this just looks bad on Pritchard, though.
You said it looks bad on Pritchard?
Yeah, it looks terrible on him.
I'm a little bit at a loss too.
Like, there's no way I can look around and say that this is I'm like, man, it's a good trade. Like, there's no like angle I can look at this and I'm like, I can see it. I can see why.
So what does this do to the Gordon Hayward thing? Because if the Celtics pitch to Gordon Hayward was, hey, look, you come here.
Oh yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, and we compare you with him. Yeah. So how does that affect everything now?
I still think a 64. I think it swings now kind of back to just staying in Utah.
You say, he's more likely to stay in Utah now.
I think now he's re-signing Utah.
I think it's interesting now because I for some reason also Miami has become this really.
He said Miami's not a city for him.
Really? I thought his wife really liked Miami.
But he says Miami's not the kind of city he's about. He's not a party goer, and he's not an outside kind of guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he is married, so.
He's married.
Guys still go out.
I mean, he's a gamer versus the kind of guy who just kind of stays in and keeps himself.
That's the thing, though, because family has a lot to do with where
Sure,
you
it
go.
does. It does.
And no state income tax. But.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I mean, he's been in Utah for 7 years. I'm sure, they've integrated well in Utah. It's not like they can't go to Miami. I know it's the difference between living there and going.
But I think about it, when you don't get taxed on 41 of the games you play, I mean that's really nice. I think I heard a statistic: LeBron saved $36 million playing in Miami.
I'm sure.
Tax.
Gordon Hayward didn't strike me as the kind of guy who's like really kind of concerned about them.
Well, this is what Gordon Hayward's 27 years old, right? 27. Okay, so this is going to be his third contract. So I think that this is one of those things that now he's sitting in a situation where
I think
you can choose your locale. Sorry, what'd you say?
I think winning right now is. I think winning /
because he's still visiting the Heat. So that's the thing. He's visiting the Heat. So
they're not in a position. To me, they're in a bad position though.
I think that they have what they have on their side is locale. They have locale. They have a better. I don't know. Coaching standpoint, Celtics went out on that. Celtics went out. I think pretty much Heat just have locale. They have the Miami thing to pitch. They have ownership to pitch, and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't still see it.
Miami is a free agent destination, though, so that they can pitch that to him like we can lure free agents here. I don't remember the last. I mean, Al Horford was the last big free agent the Celtics really landed. But other than that, I don't really think about any huge free agents the Celtics really are able to land.
Name a free agent besides LeBron that signed in Miami.
Chris Bosh.
Only went there because of Dwayne
Shaquille
Wade.
O'Neal
Was traded.
I mean that was kind of like the Chris Paul thing though in terms of the trade. So I mean Shaquille, and that's the thing. You would pitch that guys are going to come here because of you. That would be your pitch to Gordon.
Who's there now?
And Hassan Whiteside.
Who's there now? Hassan Whiteside?
Yeah, if you have him, Hassan Whiteside. I think Deion Waiters is a free agent this year.
Come on, you're naming Deion Waiters.
Hey man, Deion the clutching Waiters. He was hitting shots last year. I didn't even know what was going on, bro.
I mean, when you say Deion Waiters in your top 3.
Okay, well I agree with you. To me, the split goes. I think he's leaning. It's 60. Like how you said. Well, me it's 50 Celtics.
I think it's dropping.
40. Oh yeah, because the Paul George thing is off the table.
I mean, you'd be the same.
I mean, you still be on a better team and an easier conference.
Better team, but I mean,
in an easier conference. That's the whole key. It's an easier conference. You know what I mean?
But I mean, you've been there with
Utah.
Yeah,
you're gonna get paid a lot more.
You're gonna get paid a lot more. You're already there. I mean, the only thing that I'm really like, it really got me stuck is the whole Brad and Gordon Hayward thing. That's the only thing that's got me really stuck on it.
Well, essentially, I mean, in Utah, who's he playing with? It's Rudy Gobert.
Derek Favors.
None of them are better than Rudy Gobert is the only guy that's arguably better than any Celtics player. None of the Celtics, all the Celtics players are better offensively.
Let's agree with that.
And Al Horford's better than Derek Favors. Rudy Gobert is just defensively he's better. So I guess I'm pushing my hat. I still think the Celtics will have a better lead on him. So and the thing is, actually, money isn't even the issue. Money isn't even a factor really because think about it. Players now benefit more from becoming free agents with in their 10 years. Sorry, when they become they get a 10-year deal and they become free agents, right? Mm-hmm. Gordon Hayward that would incentivize them to sign a 3-year contract. So the money the supermax that you would get from Utah doesn't even come to play then. So Utah really doesn't have any other factor on them except for familiarity. So that kind of levels the playing field for the Celtics heavily. So I think once the money gets squared out, you're just looking at what situation I have a better chance of winning at. The Celtics look like they have the more assets, they have the more likely chance of being able to go get somebody than the Utah. Who comes to Utah? Come on. But you know what I'm saying? So I think the Celtics have a way better chance of getting somebody than any other team that's sitting there in free agency right now other than Miami. Yeah.
That's good.
This has made things so much more interesting. I'm excited, man.
That's an awful trade.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about more off camera. But all right, y'all, that's going to wrap it up for KBR Sports, the best sports talk show 24-hour day. Remember, you all can follow and subscribe to the KBR Sports podcast on Rabble TV, Spreaker, YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Also, don't forget that you can follow KBR Sports on Twitter at KBR_sports, where we see the live links and show topics prior to every single show. Also, don't forget you can call in at 571-991-0566 to pitch us your KBR Sports show topic ideas, and also to hop on and give your opinion on whatever KBR Sports show topic we may be discussing. Also, please share and comment and like on the KBR Sports podcast via either Spreaker, YouTube, SoundCloud, or iTunes and Rabble. We will deeply appreciate you all support. Please, y'all, show the support, like, comment, and share. Nigel, you got anything else for us tonight?
I love you guys, even if you don't like, share, and comment. I love you guys anyway. Thanks for listening, guys.
All right, y'all. Everybody have a great night.
Seriously, that's a garbage trade. That's such a bad trade.
This man's not going for it.
I can't believe